There are three ways that you can connect an audio source to the subwoofer. The first one is the most common, which would be the LFE input. Most up-to-date receivers will have this type of an output, and this is actually using the crossover that's in your receiver and instead of the crossover that's built into this amplifier. And how you connect that is using an RCA patch cord from your receiver and plugging it into this jack. In this position, or this installation, this dial down here would not be used. You would not use the frequency or crossover adjustments when you're using the LFE input, because all of those adjustments are done at the receiver location. The second type of installation is your low-level right and left inputs, and they would go into here. This is for a receiver that doesn't have an LFE input or output, and in this case you would use your crossover in the lava sub, and you would use this dial to adjust your different frequency ranges. The last and probably the most probably not used all that often is the high level, which is designed for a speaker, two-channel speaker setup. This is where you would take your speaker wires from your receivers, your left and your right, and they would go into the left and then also into the right side. You would do the same for the right side here. This is where you wouldn't use this application if you don't have a subwoofer output on your receiver for a stereo type of setup. What you have here on the bottom half of the amplifier is the volume, so you can adjust the amount of output you want on your receiver. Again, the frequency range, you can adjust the sound, how low or how high the subwoofer goes. The first switch you see here is a phase switch, and this is only critical if you have two subwoofers in your system. And if you do have two subwoofers, you just want to make sure that each subwoofer is on opposite settings, either 0 or 180. In a single subwoofer setting, it doesn't matter which setting it's in. The last switch that you see here is your power. You have three settings. One is in the off position, and that would turn this power light to red, and the subwoofer is not going to operate in this setting. Then you have the on, which is all the way to the right, and that would turn this light to green, and this subwoofer or this amplifier would be in an always on ready state. The middle setting, which is the auto setting, is an auto sensing, and what it's going to do is going to turn this light red, and when there's an audio source present in one of these three inputs, it'll turn green and the subwoofer will be active. After that source has gone away or been turned off, it will go into a sleep mode after a few minutes and turn the light red. You also have the main power switch on and off, that you can override any of these switches by turning this one on or off. And then you have your power plug with your fuse access here that you can check any fuse if you have a problem with the power. You also have a replacement fuse inside there to fix any blown fuse problems. And there also is a setting here for different voltages in different countries.